This seems to be a deliberate provocation, a deliberate escalation by Pakistan. Clearly to me, the planning has been done at a fairly high level. And when I'm saying fairly at a high level, uh, the fingers, and the government is also saying the fingers are pointing at Pakistan. It would be unprofessional to say that we are not planning for any reaction from Pakistan. So definitely, I mean, you have to plan for the escalation.
What are the options that can be on the table?
The government has taken some, I think, pretty strong steps, but I wouldn't at this stage completely rule out the military option. I think it would still be on the table. Should we not use military force at all? Uh, I don't think we should assume that.
I'd like to hear your opening remarks on the entire incident, on whatever the security situation is right now in J&K.
So Amrita, coming specifically to the Pahalgam attack, I mean, we've all heard it described in various ways. It's horrific, it's tragic. We've never had an incident where uh, this large number of innocent tourists have been massacred. I mean, there's no other way to talk about it. And to me, this seems to be a deliberate provocation, a deliberate escalation by Pakistan. It's not an incident, what we call an opportunity sort of attack, that there are some terrorists roaming around and they come across some, group of unarmed tourists and so carry out an opportunity kind of an attack. This has been planned extremely well. They've selected the place knowing that there were no security force presence there, plus the fact that the security forces would take a long time to react because it's far away from the roadhead. So, as I said, to me, this is a well-planned, deliberate attack, and certainly not something that a few local terrorists have sort of dreamed up and decided to do it. Clearly to me, the planning has been done at a fairly high level. And when I'm saying fairly at a high level, uh, the fingers, and the government is also saying the fingers are pointing at Pakistan.
What is the most surprising bit to you about the attack?
What is surprising is the choice of the target. Traditionally, you haven't seen tourists getting attacked because it's something that really hits the local economy. And so in the past, you've seen generally tourists, are left alone. But that to me is a surprise, and which is why I say this is such a deliberate sort of escalation.
What are the options, do you think, as a military planner? Sitting on the outside, you have zero information about what is actually happening. I understand that. But sitting from outside, what are the options that can be on the table?
Look, I think both options are still on the table, not exactly in the way that it was conducted last time. Uh, but it isn't as if, the use of ground forces is completely ruled out. You can use it in different ways. You can have different kind of targets. But there are, I mean, I know the line of control is sort of heavily guarded, but the terrain is also, I mean, you all have seen it on the ground, is such that you can find some vulnerable points, vulnerable targets. So I wouldn't completely rule out. Uh, and similarly, the use of air. I mean, today we also have Rafales now, which we didn't have uh, when we carried out Balakot. You have standoff weapons where you don't necessarily need to cross over very deep into uh, Pakistani airspace to carry out strikes. You can, in fact, some targets can be taken out even from your side of the LOC. Uh, there is the use of attack drones that can be made. I know the Air Force has some attack drones. So there are different options. Shubhajit. At this stage, the government has taken some, I think, pretty strong steps, particularly regarding the Indus Water Treaty. But I wouldn't at this stage completely rule out the military option. I think it would still be on the table.
So, if India exercises the military option, as a day after plan, how do you prepare for that? I mean, do you have a scenario in your head?
Oh, yes. So let me talk about my personal sort of experience. Once this, when we were planning for the strike, so it wasn't merely uh, just about the special forces plan, but also movement of additional reserves, uh, strengthening your own defenses, uh, discussing sort of various contingencies that could happen in case Pakistan decided to escalate and react. So those contingency plans are also put in place, and you definitely. Uh, I mean, it would be unprofessional to say that we are not planning for any reaction from Pakistan. So definitely, I mean, you have to plan for the escalation.
In both in 2016 and 2019, I mean, the surgical strike and the Balakot, uh, there was an element of surprise involved. This time, they are not just expecting a retaliation, but it seems they are hoping for a retaliatory action, some retaliatory action from India. Now, how does that complicate our own plans?
The reason why air power was resorted to in 2019 was because they were prepared for the sort of a ground attempt after 2016. 2016 was a real surprise for them, Amrita. We were listening to the radio communications, etc. They just had not expected this to happen. This time they would be better prepared, both for a ground operation, for an air operation, and obviously this is going to go into consideration of planning, just in case. I'm saying in case military option is to be exercised, as to when it is to be done and how it is to be done. Uh, the fact that surprise is not going to be as easy as it was in the past is certainly a factor that will go into our thinking about, as you said, should we do it immediately? Should we wait for some time? When and how it is to be implemented? But definitely, I mean, the element of surprise that existed in the past is not going to be there anymore.
What are we looking at? Are we looking at, I mean, a sort of a like an offensive along the international border where we can sort of perhaps do something in the Sialkot sector or the plains?
I don't think that uh, that would be the thinking at all. If the use of military force is contemplated, it would be more in a limited fashion. Uh, the whole idea being to send out a credible message. And some people say that, the past two attacks haven't really sent out a credible message. But the idea would be to send out a credible message saying that if you continue with this, there will be some level of punishment that will come on you. And so I see a sort of a limited, if at all, there is military force applied, it would be limited in scale and scope, while being prepared, I should believe that also, by being prepared for a level of escalation, uh, and seeing how at each level of escalation, you could come out on top. So I don't really visualize an attack across the international border into Sialkot sector.
How do you prevent incidents like this?
This is a real sort of dilemma for the security forces. If you recall, in the past, there has been so much criticism of bunkers around Dal Lake, overwhelming presence of security forces, and this puts off the tourists, too much militarization. At the same time, as you said, if things happen and the security force presence is not there, and then there's the criticism as to why were you not there? Why, where there are vulnerable targets. Uh, it's a it's a challenge. You have to sort of find a right kind of balance. Every time you will have an incident, it will push things back a little. But as I said, this is exactly what the terrorists want. What will this incident do? See, Amitabh, I said in the short term, it looks like tourists are going out, bookings are getting cancelled. But I'm not. I don't think if you look at it in a slightly long-term perspective, that uh, it could really turn around the security situation in Jammu and Kashmir for the worse. No, that's not going to happen. Uh, and horrific as this incident is, I think there are also some opportunities, Amitabh. The manner in which some of the local population has come out against terrorist activities, is that something that can be made use of? Is that something that can be exploited? I spoke to you about, the outreach to the local population. Can we expand that outreach? Uh, can we bring sort of more people coming out and saying, look, terrorism is not suiting us in our sort of day-to-day life?
As the military leadership and the political leadership plans the next steps, is there a note of caution that you would like to offer?
Look, the note of caution always is that uh, if military forces contemplated, plan should be such that they succeed. I mean, uh, we should not get over ambitious in our military planning. Look at areas where there's 100% success. And secondly, uh, we need to plan for escalation. I mean, to assume that Pakistan is not going to react, they will do nothing, uh, is a policy. I mean, we saw that in 2019. So we just need to be prepared for that escalation. Uh, should we not use military force at all? Uh, I don't think we should assume that. But if we could diplomatically, internationally sort out this issue with Pakistan, it would have been resolved long ago. So we have to look at all instruments of national power that we have and see how we can use them effectively, responsibly.